black thing go from left to right, and I thought, I'm going to die out here. No one's ever going to know.
I couldn't believe what my eyeballs were showing me. I'll never forget how evil the eyes were. It was horrible. I mean, I've never seen nothing that evil.
It ran towards me at a rate that I can't even explain. Turned and stared at me, and this look of, I just want to kill you. I want to say it was human, but it wasn't.
He was yelling at me to grab a gun, grab a gun. I was like, for what? He said, just grab a gun. And there's footprints all the way to the door of my house. It had went inside my garage, all the way to the door.
911, what are you reporting?
Jesus Christ, you better...
Sir?
Zia!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh.
You're listening to Sasquatch Chronicles. Check us out online at sasquatchchronicles.com. If you've had an encounter, email me. My email address is wes@sasquatchchronicles.com. Welcome to the show, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. Got a great show planned for you this evening. Going to be bringing Dave on, who had an encounter when he was out hunting. He actually had the feeling of being watched, turned around, saw this creature with its head above the brush, looking at him. A very interesting encounter. It ended up running off. And also be bringing Steve on. And Steve decided to go out and see for himself if there was anything to this, people seeing Sasquatch or not. And it's interesting what he found in this area in Arizona. I know he was in Colorado too for a while, trying to find these creatures, but he captured a bunch of very interesting audio. I'll play some of it tonight for you guys, and then I'll post the rest of the audio that I don't play during the show below this here on the website. So if you get a chance, listen to it. I know if anyone out there can really go through the audio, it's you guys, but I'll post some of the audio here tonight. If you've had an encounter and you'd like to be on the show, shoot me an email. My email address is wes@sasquatchchronicles.com. And going back to Steve, not only did he capture the audio, he actually saw the creature running off when he was out by himself, which I don't recommend, but, you know, we're all grown-ups. Everyone makes their own decisions. But Steve is very eager to capture evidence and prove that these creatures are real, so I respect that very much. Let's jump into it tonight. I want to welcome Dave to the show. Dave, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Wes. Big fan of the show. Thanks for having me.
No, I appreciate you coming on. And if you would, I know your encounter happened in Colorado. If you would, for the audience, maybe kind of start from the beginning. Tell us what you're out doing and walk us into what happened.
Sure. The time frame is September 1997. Myself and four buddies, Pennsylvania natives, were out in the Buena Vista area of Colorado, and we went out for a bow hunting elk trip. And we were pretty much hunting was Game Management Area 481, which we spent most of our time at the beginning and middle part of the week hunting off of Mount Princeton and accessing those areas along the Colorado Trail. And we were, bow hunting. We would team up, try to call bulls in. They're in their rut, and we had some action early in the week. It was fun just to hear bulls coming, and we had a couple hold up just outside our archery range. And by I guess Thursday, everything in that area had pretty much quieted down. So we had one more day to hunt Friday. And one of the guys that's been out there has relatives out there. So we asked him, hey, we got one more day to hunt. I said, I don't know if they're call shy in that area. Can you suggest a new area? So he said, yeah. He says, well, you guys might want to go up to Red Deer, which is right behind Cottonwood Hot Springs. And he says, but it's really steep up there. Usually there's a lot of game. A few times I've been up there. So two of us, Larry and I, decided we were going to head up there. So we made plans to get up the next morning and head to the base of the mountain. So everything, played out. We were, getting pretty much beat up by the mountains all week being Easterners, but we decided to give it one last go. And we parked at the base of the mountain and started heading up. Right away we started hearing bulls. And we actually didn't know, we didn't really have a game plan, but we just started moving up the mountain on what was like kind of a ridge line running vertical to the top. And for whatever reason, we heard a bunch of bulls on both sides, and my buddy and I got separated. So we had Motorola's back then. It was, all Motorola's for hunting trips and stuff. So at some point we agreed to meet at the top up close to tree line and just keep in contact with the radios. So I moved off to the left, and there's kind of a gut down there, and I would move a little bit, and it was really steep. And then I'd take a break and then keep moving. Every now and then I would, see if there was any bulls in the area by doing like a bugle or hyper hot. And I'd moved up about maybe 2/3 of the way up to the top. We were probably, that mountain peaks out about 11,000 before you really get into the higher stuff. But I had gone up about maybe 2/3 of the way up, and I called, and I had a bull on the other side, to my left, up over the hill, answer. So I decided to go down and kind of get in position, thinking I might be able to pull a satellite bull in and maybe get a shot. And so I set up and I called, and it just got quiet. And all of a sudden, I got the eeriest feeling that just something had a beat on me. And couldn't explain it, but it was like I knew it was behind me, and I was pretty much looking down the mountain and maybe towards one direction a little bit. So I was like something had a string on the tip of my nose. I just turned around, and it's like my eyes just went right to it. And I can't explain that, but here there's this I call it a critter. Looking over a bush at me. Now, this is probably about 70, 75 yards away, and it was shaded by, it was like two evergreens coming over forming an arch, so it was a little bit shaded, but the sun was coming into the evergreens, and there was direct sunlight behind it, so I could see the contrast perfectly. I have 20/20 vision, and I'm looking at this thing, and the first thing I noticed is like it's the best way to describe it was like a triangular shaped head. And I'm looking at it, I'm saying, well, where's the ears at? I'm thinking, well, is this a cow elk? Is this a mule deer doe, or a bear? But there's absolutely no ears on it. It was completely like triangular cone shaped. And it went right into the shoulders. I could see the top part of the shoulder. And I'm looking at this thing, and it's looking back at me. And I just kept processing, what is this son of a gun here? And nothing made sense. And I kept thinking, well, it's a bear. No, it can't be a bear. I said, even if it was a bear, I could see, little ears sticking up. I'd seen a number of bears in my life, so I just could not figure it out. And I couldn't make any of the facial features, I think because it was shadowed a little bit, but I could tell that it wasn't completely black because of the contrast. I could tell it was like a deep, dark chocolate brown. And it was just staring at me. And I was like, this just doesn't make any sense. What is this? And it was, my eerie feeling kind of like subsided. It was more like, just an inquisitive type feeling. What am I looking at? And all of a sudden, after about a minute and a half, this thing just, I'd say, jump or bolts to my left, and there's probably 10 to 15 feet of gap there that, it shot across at incredible speed and got behind some trees, and it was just gone. Like, if I would have blinked, I think I would have missed it. But I do distinctly remember that it never dropped in height, and it was like shot straight across. And I distinctively saw like the scissors action of a bipedal creature, with one leg shifting past the other. And I was like, man, what? I can't believe this. What was that? And I'm just sitting there about half dumbfounded.